Guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on the JK, and I'm going to start a video series, a real short video series of the first 5 things, small things I'm going to do to the JK, and then I'll do another one of the first 5 large things I'm going to do to the JK. So we're going to start today with number 1 of the first 5 things that I would do to a JK, or I am going to do to my JK upon first getting it. To preface this, when I first got the JK, it did not have any floor mats in it. Even if it did have the stock floor mats, I would have taken those out because there's really no reason not to get the formed and molded floor mats for your JKs, because they do have very well-defined footwells, and it does keep dirt from going everywhere if you plan on doing any off-roading. I do a little bit of off-roading, plus just out the lake and things. My carpet tends to get very nasty, and just like it did in my TJ. So that's the first thing we're going to do. So I did order some Rugged Ridge molded floor mats, and that included the front floor mats, the rear, and the cargo department. The problem is I got them for a 2-door JK, which means the rears were way too small. The rears look like this, and that obviously won't work. So I was going to go back, and I do like the cargo mat, and the front ones were nice, so I wanted to go back and find just the rear. I couldn't find just the rear for sale for very cheap at all, so I found a company called Oedro that also produces these same molded floor mats, and I could get a set of front and rear from them for pretty cheap, a lot cheaper than the Rugged Ridge or the Best Top or the WeatherTech or the Husky Liners or any of those other brands. And I also like to look at their products, so I got them to send me a set, and that's what we're going to look at. I'll compare them a little bit to the Rugged Ridge, and then I'll put them in and we'll take a good long look at them and see if the quality holds up. This is what came in, very nicely packaged. I like that. I have gotten things from companies that aren't the established brand, and they come in fairly rough packaging. Good packaging. All right, so let's see what exactly we're getting here. So this Oedro kit also came with an extra grommet for the mounts, and a nice little instruction booklet, and apparently a fan club. Join our Oedro fan club, so I'll have to check that out, see what that's all about, because I did look, and they do have some nice lighting upgrades and things like that I'll be looking at. So let's compare them. So here's the Oedro stuff, and there's the Rugged Ridge stuff, at least the front. You already saw the rears over there. Upon first glance, they look fairly similar, but when you really start looking, there are some major differences. The main difference that I see is that the Oedros are molded further up into the footwell and have a lot more coverage on the sides, on the transmission tunnel, and then the foot kick plates. If you look at passenger side versus driver's side, you can see that the Oedros cover a lot more ground, especially where your foot's going to be for the gas pedal, which I like that a lot. Question is does that make them fit poorly? Because the Rugged Ridge fit very well. You can see they both have provisions for the stock mounting locations as far as the little holders. The only other thing that's different is the Rugged Ridge does have little knobbies on the back, and the Oedro doesn't. Of course, I have a feeling with the higher up that goes into the Jeep that's going to be not that big of a deal. I like the little metal emblem they've got here. That's nice. And then, of course, this is the proper rear piece, and it looks really nice. So let's pop them in there, see what happens. All right, so that popped in there just very easily and immediately. Seems to fit really well. It does go way up in there. And I like the fact that this part over here is molded well and goes up by the acceleration pedal. I mean, that's where your foot's going to be hitting the most, especially if you have 13s like I do. They feel fine, they don't slide. There's a little bit of a bulge right here on this part of the tunnel, but it doesn't look like that'll get in the way of anything. Passenger side fits perfect. Does the same thing, goes way up on the sides, goes up on the kick plates as well. It looks like it fits fine. Guys, the rear is what I dig the most. This looks awesome. It covers really well, it's molded really well. It fits everything, including the cup holders and the seat brackets, front and rear. And I feel comfortable people getting in and out, throwing my muddy boots down there, putting whatever else down there I need to. That is so much better and such more peace of mind. I am super pumped about that rear. The fronts, I'm really pumped about them going far up into the footwells, and they look good. You can see they look real nice. They don't look, I get what Rugged Ridge is going for here, and the Best Top is the same way. I get what they're going for with the rugged look, but for this Jeep, it's my daily driver. I don't necessarily want that look. Now these are still good, and what I'm going to do is I've already test fit them in my TJ, and they'll generally fit my TJ. So I'm going to put these in my TJ, including those, and so these are still going to get used. You can see I already used them last time. You can also see where the mud, how far up the mud goes up on the side where I rest my foot in the driver's side, and that is something that is no problem in the Oedro because of how high up it goes on the sides. So let's talk about cost. So these cost on Oedro's website $79.99. They got to me in about 4 days, which is really good. I've seen them on Amazon. They're a little more expensive, but I just went straight to the website. That's going to be the easiest place to go get them. There's a link down in the description. The Oedro company also has other Jeep floor mats that are more OEM looking as far as the tire patterns and stuff that the OEM ones have. So they also have those. I think those are a little bit different in price as well. They also have the rear cargo portion mats as well. Compare that to the Rugged Ridge that I bought prior. Those are about 130 to 150 depending on where you get them for the front and the rear. Of course, Best Tops can be even more expensive. The WeatherTechs can be that much or more expensive. All the name brands are generally 130 to 150 for front and rear. So this is a substantial bargain if you go to their website and get it for 80 bucks. They also have a lot of other stuff on their website for different vehicles. They do have a set of these for my wife's Ram. I'll probably be picking those up too because I really like them, and she has the stock carpet floor mats in her Ram. I'm extremely thrilled with them. I think they're great floor mats. Use them for a few days, and then I'll come back and finish up the video, and then if they remain high on my list after a week of using them. Alright, so you can probably tell by the scruff on my face that it's been about a week since I installed the Oedro floor mats, and I can tell you they're doing great. I haven't really gotten real dirty or gone mudding or anything to see how they trap all the mud and dirt, but I was going to work the other day and I couldn't find a top to my stainless steel cup, and so I took the chance of just bringing a cup of coffee without the top, and did spill some right in my lap. Luckily I have the leatherish seat, so I was able to wipe it off the seats, and of course I had to change pants. A good probably over half of it went right into the floorboard. And I'm happy to say, as you can see, I just took it out and dumped it, and then kind of wiped them down, and this is a couple days worth of dirt right here, but wiped it down and it was good as new. Nothing on my carpet. I didn't spill it. The sides went up so high that when it splashed, it didn't splash on my carpet or anything. So I would say it's a total success. Of course, the rear still look as good as ever. So the only thing that I would suggest Oedro to do would be to add a little stopper that can go into these little holes right here. Luckily this is raised so high that no liquid got through that hole, but if it was a lot of liquid I could see it going through that hole right there if it got up high enough. But this does dip down a little bit and that's raised, so that's probably not an issue, but it would be nice to have a little plastic stopper that goes in whichever hole's not being used. But that is a tiny little suggestion versus how well these worked. And again, I can't stress enough how much better this is that it goes all the way up under your feet, especially under the gas pedal. Final thoughts on these: 80 bucks is a steal for that rear section and the front. Again, I was just trying to buy the rear when I was looking for these, and everywhere I could find just the rear piece alone was 60 or 70 bucks from one of the other more established companies. The speed at which these got to me and the quality of their build, I can't suggest them enough. So the Rugged Ridge has found a permanent home in my TJ now, and these will stay in the JK from here on out. If I run into any problems down the road another month from now or 6 months from now, then I'll update the video, but I don't anticipate it because I don't see how they could go bad, and they're definitely going to save my carpet a lot of stress and abuse because I tend to do that to my vehicles. Probably going to buy a set of these for my wife's Ram now. She really liked them, and she wants some for her Ram, so we'll probably get some of them. And I'm also going to look, they have some more JK accessories. I'm also going to look at their minimal flares. I definitely have to replace these flares. We went off-roading and I scrubbed those flares dramatically once I took the sway bars loose. So I've got to get some kind of different type of flare for this, and I like the minimal style flares. They sell a set, so I'm going to look at getting some of those and testing those out and see if they look right on this Jeep. Y'all tell me what you think. Should I go to a minimal flare or a wider flare that is painted to match the Jeep? So guys, I hope this video helps you make a decision and save a little money. Probably save you 50 or 60 bucks possibly, especially if you go to their website and get the floor mats for 80 bucks. Other than that, tell me what you think. I hope you like the JK content. TJ is not being forgotten. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.